Welcome everyone here in person and all our friends, wherever you are, at home, office. Uh, Great to see you all. How was your week? Yes? Was it good? Were you able to see, to understand why it's in your movie? The week, the people, the circumstances, the events. Did you ask these questions enough? Yeah.
So you asked how it went?
Yes, please.
Um,
Look at the camera.
so I noticed that when there were external factors, like say my car breaking down or someone cutting me in line at a coffee shop, okay, it was easy to pause and see that this was like kind of like a test and to think like, okay, where's the opportunity in this? How can I learn from this? But then when it came to my family, it was a lot harder.
Yeah.
And I actually had to like ask for strength to even just pause and say what an opportunity. Like I even had to just ask for strength to just do that. And that's been my week.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you. Thank you very much. So it's interesting what you say, because there are many events and they all belong to different circles of tikkuns. And the family circle, usually it's the hardest one. That's the reason it's for life. You cannot just say, I don't want this family. Some people try, but they suffer for that. It's better to deal with it because your soul truly chose this circle of tikkun for its entire journey because there is a lot of work there. So don't get discouraged. Understand that it takes time to really unpack all this tikkun understanding. Just continue to do it, and eventually, you will uncover a lot of interesting insight. Why the parents, why the family, why they irritating me in such way or another. Okay, making sense?
Doing it for I had lots of controlling about myself, and I sat in the meditation and try to
Ask.
ask myself why I'm, so much in control, because um I get angry, I get upset, I get too much fears. And when I sat in the meditation and I asked myself, there's all this thinking coming and going, and then I keep saying pause to myself, you gotta stop in my head. So to be honest,
Some
after a couple of
insights.
days, yeah, after a couple of days, I felt so much better. I felt all this anger and all this controlling about things I had, situation is gone away for me. Inside me, it's
Can
gone
you
away.
recall why though?
Um,
It's because you came to some kind
because
of realization,
this
probably,
this
no?
this mind, basically this thinking is got stopped. Like
But
I'm not thinking anymore.
maybe you said it's ridiculous. Maybe you say it doesn't make sense. Why am I here? And that's the reason you shifted it.
Kind of put some pray into it too. I like to stop that. I don't want to be in control. I don't want to be just have this feeling inside me. And I do this pray. I love myself. Forgive me, forgiveness for everything.
Affirmations.
Yeah, and
Nice.
it's after like 5 6 days doing that, which is I had a bad feeling inside me, and after a couple of days when I did 3 4 times a day for 10 minutes, I did meditation and stuff.
It's beautiful.
Everything is gone away. I feel much better. I feel more,
Beautiful.
what is everything is gone. I don't have that kind of bad feeling.
That's great. Very nice. So I think this example is actually showing us that the work that you did is actually bringing it back to yourself. Say, oh, I know it's about my control. It's not about the other person that doesn't obey me or do as I wish to. It's not about him. It's about my control. So I want to stop that. And that's the reason you came in peace, because you brought it back to you. And that's really working on our tikkun. Understand? Instead of saying, okay, why things are happening to me? No, why am I reacting in a certain way? All right? Every class, we're building another level of consciousness and understanding. Okay. So we started with the spiritual rule number one, which is to activate the light, the source of all fulfillment. I must have affinity with it. I must act like it. Yeah. And in order to do that, first I have to stop my reactive nature and look at things as an opportunity to give, to share, to be creative, to be like the light, to help. Okay. And the second class, we learned that my life is a perfect plan designed to help me with my soul correction, which is my tikkun. And the spiritual tool is pretty much to bring it back to me. Why is it happening to me? Why is it in my movie? All right, great. So we also learn about our tikkun. So we know that the tikkun is the process we must go through in order to get to the next level of our soul evolution. You can go through life doing amazing things that usually within your nature, because you are talent, you're gifted, you're fortunate, not really trying to unpack all those things that you don't like about yourself, and not touching whatsoever in your tikkun. It means that you come to this world and you get out of this world exactly as you came. Miss opportunity, pretty much, because this is not our purpose. Our purpose is not designed to our success, the physical success, or as success is being structured and programmed by the culture. Yeah, it's not about that. Our true purpose, in order to be true fulfilled, we have to find out what are those things that are not really easy for us to do. Yeah, pain, fear, insecurities. Those are the things that we need to learn to look at. They are not comfortable. We rather just sweep them under the carpet and leave them for later. No, as much as we're going to expose more and say, okay, why do I feel over and over those repetitive patterns come to me? Those same relationships, those same types of people. Why is it there? Why I'm constantly repeating the same mistakes? Okay. And the question that we're going to ask today, before that, is we know that to the opposite of the reactive nature is the transformative way for us to do it is to be proactive. What does it mean to be proactive? When I am the cause, injecting intention when I am in control over my responses. Yeah. So proactive, it means that instead of looking to be right, I'm looking for a win-win. I'm looking for energy to just vibrate from the situation, positive energy. And it's within my control. So when I'm falling into fear, when I'm shut down, when I'm exploding, when I'm becoming angry, when I'm becoming upset, no, I'm losing energy. Yeah. But when I'm turning it into opportunity, most likely that me and the person that I'm dealing with, as we said, most of the time is between me and another person, most likely that both going to feel better for me. Yeah. That's the point, being proactive. But when we're talking about tikkun and when things are not really happening to us and repetitive things are taking place. So repetitive, we know that this is a hint that there is a tikkun. Is that making sense? Tikkun is repetitive. Groundhog Day, every day, same things, same thoughts, patterns, same scenarios, same laziness, same stookiness. Yeah. I want to do something, but immediately a fog of thoughts prevent it to happen, excuses. And it's all within my mind, pretty much. So the biggest question that we want to ask today in order to get to the main subject is, what are the things that we know that are great for us to do, but we don't do them? Please, online, here, tell us, write in the chat. Going to the gym. Okay. Meditating. Yeah. Take a walk, go in nature, relaxing, checking out from stress. Okay, good. Sleeping well before midnight.
Drinking more water.
Drinking more water. Cutting sugar. Okay, you can say it like that, but it's actually related to the next question. I will tell you why. Yes, more. Things that we need to do more. Cutting sugar is things that we don't need to do. Making sense? Okay, instead of just streaming, listening mode. Listening to all the vibration, listening more to people. Yeah? Okay, good. What else? Gratitude for to see the glass half full instead of half empty. Because there is some kind of gifts that we already be given, but we choose to see on a constant way what is missing, isn't it? As a default. That's part of the default mechanism, to see what is missing instead of waking up, wow, I'm so grateful. Because we need to be grateful. Why we need to be grateful? Because right now, the people that sitting here in this room are more fortunate than about 95% of the entire population of the world. Did you realize that? It's a lot. More fortunate than 95%. Okay, if you don't believe me, 90%, but not less than 90%. I promise you. It's a lot. It's a lot to be appreciative of. Okay? Beautiful. Anything else? Letting go is what not to do?
No, we don't do enough. We keep the grievances.
We keep what? Grief?
Like
What is grievances?
disagreements with relationships, disagreements with people.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So holding on to grudge,
Yeah. No.
resentment, holding on to resentment, grudge, not letting go, not letting go. Okay, good. Okay. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. What about being more in touch with family members? Simple things. Let's keep it basic. You know, eating healthy. We said exercising, learning more. Yeah, being more curious about life, having more fun. Everyone wants to have fun. Why we don't have take more moments to have fun? Just to play. Dancing more. What do you think about dancing more? Many research show that when you do that, you raise your level of energy. Interesting. So we got the point, yeah? Now the next question coming to you. What are those negative things, bad things that we know that we shouldn't do, but we do them anyways? Say again? Judgment. Okay. What else? Eating sugar. It's tasty, but
Thinking about things all the time.
overthinking. Yeah, dwelling, too much, stuck in the negativity. Yes, what else? Anger, what else? Hmm? Gossiping, okay. Actually fun to gossip. Yeah, we get a lot of energy from gossiping, especially when we talk bad about someone. We feel better about ourselves. It's great. Amazing technology invented by the creator. I can put someone down and I feel higher. Beautiful. But doesn't pay long term. We know that. What else do we do? Not being present, of course, of course. Losing the gift of now, like always like somewhere else. I need to worry. I need to dwell. Yes. What else?
Fear-based decision.
Fear-based decisions. Okay, good. What else? What else we do to ourselves? How do we self-sabotage? Yes, scrolling, too much social media, burning time, wasting time, not being productive, the laziness. We got the picture? So, what is the main conclusion from those two questions about human beings? We don't talk just because we know that it's everyone, it's not just us in this room. You understand that? That's the way human design. That's part of the protocol, that's part of the default program. So, what does it mean about us? So, we don't have control about ourselves. That's what's been said. But are we masochist? Could be deep inside, even masochist. So, as we've been said here, maybe it's giving to us something. We get some kind of energy from it. And it's true because they say that is a rule. It's rule, part of the rules that we're going to learn that nothing, we're not going to move a tiny finger unless we're thinking we're going to receive something out of it. There is always a driven motivational force behind everything that we do. So what's been said here that in the Western society, what happens, we have a lot of abundance. I mean, we don't feel it, but there is so much comfort. And because there is so much comfort, there is what we call lack of appreciation. And people that seem living simpler life as usually less complain about life. Okay, but that's not the reason. That's not the reason. Because it couldn't be that we here just for self-sabotage. It cannot be a purpose of human being as a default to always not do what is good for him most of the time and always run after things that going to damage him himself. It doesn't make sense. The animals don't do that. Of course, we came here to evolve, but we explain the program. Do we understand that this is a program? Do we accept it that we acting this way? Today we're going to learn one. That's the beautiful thing about this class. You excited about it? Yes? I'm very excited to share with you about this class. So, what does it really mean? So, the Kabbalists explain to us that there is this energy force that operating in this physical domain, which we call it the opponent. Okay? Opponent, the one that you go against, opponent. It's an energy force. That's something very unique to the teaching of Kabbalah. There are many parallels to it in different teachings, but let me explain to you. The voice within that challenged me to think only about myself and to take action of self-sabotage. The reactive voice within that separate me from hearing the voice of my soul. So remember, we have two voices inside of us. We are structured from two type of energy sources. You remember we said that in the beginning of the course? There is the body consciousness and there is the soul consciousness. There is the voice of my soul, which is in line with the creator, and there is the voice of my body, which is in line with the five senses desire, with what the body tells it that it needs, what the body wants all the time, what the body wants. Pleasure. Yeah, what else? Huh? Comfort. What else? Attention. So yeah, the body pretty much want to avoid pain and run after pleasure. That's pretty much the sound of the body. Yeah, the voice of the body. Now, the voice of the soul is the soul that wants to do its purpose in this world. That's the reason it chooses this body as a vehicle. But what triggers the body to be as it is in this domain, physical domain, it's this voice called the voice of the opponent. Okay? So the opponent's main trick is to convince us that it doesn't even exist. The opponent wants us to think that you are the one that is reactive. You are the one that has the negative thoughts. You are the one that control all your negative behaviors. It's coming from you as a reaction and consequences of what happens around us. Okay? So I don't know if you saw this movie called The Usual Suspect. So it talks about this energy of sorcerer, forgot his name.
Kaiser Soze.
Kaiser Soze?
Kaiser.
Kaiser Soze, yes, exactly. Kaiser Soze. So what is the trick? The trick is to make you, because he represented kind of the Satan of the world. So one of the tricks is to make us believe it doesn't exist. So for us, it doesn't make sense. I am one. What? My body and me are different? No, it's one. What you talking about? If I have a negative thought, and some people have deep negative thoughts, they say, if it's coming to me, that's what my calling is to do. So they can go and steal, they can go and murder, they can go and hurt other people. That's the extent of thinking that if it comes to me, it's okay to go about it. But now we're saying, no, 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 there must be separation because there are two voices. There is the voice that trying always to take me down, to connect to fear, to work from insecurity, from lack, from uncertainty, from confusion. Now, this code name of the opponent in the Kabbalistic language, it might be familiar to you because it's become famous, but they kind of distorted it. In religions, they call it Satan, but it's not really some kind of a fiery entity air that looking to haunt you. No, no, that's the misconfusion in religion. Satan, as we call it in Kabbalah, is just a negative force that is all around, that I need to decide that when I hear this voice, I need to understand that it's there to challenge me. It challenged me to become better. Because when we came to this world, when we choose to come to this domain, we didn't want everything to be easy for us. We said we want a choice. We want free will. So we don't want just that everything's going to be clear. We want to see darkness and to turn it into light. We want to see a problem and help to solve it. Okay? So in order for that, the light created its opposite force to help us to overcome. Okay? So if we say life is a game, how can a game take place if there is no opponent? Is that making sense? But if you don't realize what is the opponent force, what is the opponent team, and you always think, oh, I am the opponent, I am the bad person, or I'm blaming others, I'm blaming everything external as the opponent, that's where we misunderstand. Our opponent is our reactive negative system. This is the opponent. It's an energetic force, but it's there to serve a purpose, a good purpose. It's a choice. We chose to came to this world from the endless reality. So we be able to overcome and grow. So opponent is triggering the tikkun, which triggering the ego, which triggering selfishness, which bringing all my negative attribute into place. But I need to say, okay, yes, this is my opponent, but it's not me. Who I am? I am the soul, because that's who we truly are. We are the soul. We're not the opponent. And that's something that we need to start exercising more. I know it's a very deep concept, a new concept for us. Now we're saying, wait a second, you need to separate your opponent from yourself. There's two different channels. And then you need to make a choice. After you make the separation, do I want to connect to this opponent that tells me gossip, tell me sabotage myself, tell me speak bad, tells me hurt others, tell me I'm more important, tell me all those stories that just causing separation and space between me and other people. Or I want to listen to the voice of the soul. It's an opportunity. Let's see how we can become creative. Let's see how we can bring kindness. Let's see how we become more brave. Let's see how we overcome. Two voices. Okay? Listen, if you've been listening to the voice of the opponent for too long, we become addicted to it. You understand? So now, with this class, we're saying, okay, I want to take a diet from this voice. The voice of sugar, Coca-Cola, nicotine. That's its, and so many other things. Yeah. As we said, now this energy of the opponent, because we couldn't really understand it. It's everywhere. That's the reason when someone creates a product, there is so many toxin in that product. There is so much selfishness in that product. He's trying to sell you something, but he's doing it not for you, he's doing it for him. We kind of mixed up all the purpose, why we want to create a product. So for the other person, he's going to have some kind of energy from it, fulfillment. But if it's with so many toxics, if it's so many poisons, if it's so bad for me, it means that he operated with his voice of the opponent when he went and created that brand. So that brand is just producing more separation, more negativity. So in order for us to stop it, we need to understand what's my purpose? Really just to go after money and create so many things that hurt others? No, this is not. This is me listening to that voice. Tell me being selfish. Think about yourself. Is that making sense? So let's look at this slide. We're going to unpack it even more. What is the opponent? Opponent is reactive. The light, our soul, is proactive. Opponent is seeing only the minimum data that is there, 1%, focusing on what is tangible. The soul is coming from that 99%. Spiritual. Opponent relates more to the body needs, The light, the soul is for the soul needs. Opponent is the five senses. The light is connected to the intuition level of who we are, the sixth sense. Opponent is fear. Soul is love. Lower consciousness, higher consciousness. Doubt versus certainty. Disturber, which is the ego, intuition with creativity. Force of separation, force of unification, uniting others. You understand? So those two forces are within us constantly. We just need to make the choice to which voice to listen more. Yeah? The voice of the soul is a bit quieter. Wake up, do some nice action today. Do action of kindness. The voice of the opponent, no, doesn't deserve it. You know? You understand how it works?
When you go to school, it's just like negativity is around you. And how can we, to live in this kind of society and be like 90% positive? How can we do that? I mean, unless you work on yourself every day, like at least 2-3 hours a day to work on yourself. And it's hard with all the things we have around us. It's just like, it's not easy. I do it all the time, but as soon as something happens, I go out or I go to the people's house, there's something negative. It's just affecting you. It's just affecting you. When you come home, you feel like anxiety. You feel like you don't feel good. So I have to sit in the meditation again to just get rid of all those things. But that things bothers me for a couple of days or a couple of hours to get rid of that negativity inside me. And these things just keep happening. I've been doing these things for a long time, but it just doesn't get there, like, because unless I have to stay away from everybody, stay away from all this negativity. When I'm home alone, when I'm, like I'm not going anywhere, I'm okay. I'm good with my family, with my, like I'm good. But as soon as I start going out to the parties or to the people's house or, talking to people, all this negativity is coming back.
I think it's a very legitimate question. Do you agree? Do we all agree? We all feel the connection to what's been said? Absolutely. Yeah. But part of the voice of the opponent is to tell us that there is no hope. But there is. That's the reason we're learning what we're learning. And there are answers to everything that you've been asked about. There are answers, but it's going to require a lot of different changes in the things I'm choosing in life. I need to choose differently the way I think and to see what type of environment I want to deal with. It doesn't mean that I'm going to isolate myself forever. And no, that's not the purpose. But there are ways, and we teach that. By the end of the course, you're going to have many more answers to this actual question. But first, see how much this voice of the opponent is control over you and start working on it. Immediately, it's going to elevate your energy. When you're going to win this voice over and over and over, personally, you're going to be so much stronger that it's going to help you to deal with all the negativity that is out there too. Automatically, I promise you, okay? So what is the opponent? The Kabbalists explain to us that the opponent is everything that comes for free. It's interesting. Do you need to say, you know what, I'm going to just make an effort now to gossip? No, it's natural. It's for free. Do you really say, I'm just going to make like a tremendous effort to feel negative and negative thoughts? No, it just comes. Yeah. Do I need to make an effort to have doubt, insecurity, pessimism? It's just there. Do you agree? But everything that relates to the light It's required effort. So we need to start making peace that even though the body is looking for free things all the time and comfort and easy, no, I know that my soul is came here to earn the light. And earning the light, it's much more difficult than just listening to the voice of the opponent that just is there, free of charge. As much as you want is there. He can take you as deep to the midst of the mud freely. Okay? So that's how you recognize if this is the opponent or this is your soul. So let's do an exercise, and Elidette going to split you into couples online so you can do that exercise. So pick a partner and share with them something that you're working on, perhaps a challenge or a recurring issue. Your partner will play the part of your true soul. This means the one that need to be earned, the positive vibe, and you will play the voice of your opponent. You're going to say all those negative things about the challenge, how bad you feel, how pessimistic you are, how you see there is no hope in this challenge. Yes, the insecurities, the fears that are there. Your partner will make the effort to be positive, supportive, encouraging, and basically relentless in overcoming your challenge. And you will counter with the kind of phrases that the voice of your opponent uses. Okay, so pick someone that, yeah, better you didn't came to class with, and let's do it. So definitely we identify that person that did whatever he did to us as the opponent. Do we agree? Because it did something to us that caused us to behave in such a way towards him because we felt right now is our opponent and we need to do something about it, whatever we did. Some people respond in being very angry. Some people shut down. It depends on which tikkun I'm carrying, how I'm going to respond, okay? How my opponent will trigger me. What the voice of the opponent is very unique to each and every one of us. This is the reason the opponent is not one thing. The opponent is personalized to us. It's our opponent to play the game of life. So we need to study not the opponent of our friends or our family member. We need to study our own opponent. We need to see what is telling us constantly. Is that making sense? When you're going to, as a sport team, and you're going to a match with the other team, if you are in the top professional leagues, they study videos of their opponents before. They study each character of the opponent team. They see what's their abilities, where the vulnerabilities. They have to, because otherwise it won't be impossible to challenge them and to win them. You understand? So we are in the game of life. We must learn about the opponent. Till this very day, we didn't realize that there is opponent. We thought it's us. We thought it's the other person. So when we look at this event, by looking at this next slide, and we're going to come back to that, okay? Big secret that the very few people know the opponent is ultimately a positive force, currently disguised as a negative one. Remember, the opponent is the angels employed by the Creator to help us to manifest our full potential. So if the opponent was sent by the light, must be that the one that we thought that is the opponent is actually the light. So let's do a funny game. Replace the name that you put of whoever you thought this opponent of yours and put the name the light instead, or the creator instead. And tell me what you get. replace the name of the other person you put with the name light. The light force of the creator. Replace it now. How does it feel? I will tell you how it works for me. I didn't like it when the light didn't allow me to watch UFC. It made me feel resentment towards the lights. Then I punched the light in the face. That's how it works in my example. See how it works in your example. But this is what we actually facing. There is nothing beside the light. It appeared to be as an opponent, it appeared to be as obstacle, it appeared to be as challenge, just for us, really, to reveal another strength inside of us so we can become like the light. Is that making sense? Easy to understand, much more difficult to take into action. But as much as you're going to be open to this concept, exercise it more, learn and study about your opponent, seeing that there is a voice, but I want to shift to the voice of the light. How do I do it? With the help of the other tools that we learn. So the opponent talks to me, do this, do that, explode, shut down, jump on the sugar cake, this. Pause. What an opportunity. What an opportunity. Yeah, but I want this sugar. Yeah, but why it's in my movie? You understand? This is the process we need to do. And that's how you get self-control. If you're going to win these tiny fights and then move to bigger fights in life, dealing with bigger things, you're going to feel so powerful. You feel that you are controlling life, not that the opponent is dictating the way you're going to be, how you're going to behave, how you're going to sabotage your life, your relationship, your career, and so on and so on. When a situation triggers your active nature, pause, observe, say, what a pleasure, what an opportunity. I realize that the situation is coming from the light. Yes, not from any other place. Everything comes from the light. My reaction, not the other person, is where I can affect the change. The way I respond is that's where I need to train myself to earn. It's easy to just go about my reactive. It's free, but it's more fulfilling when I'm going and changing myself. Okay. So one of our best books that to describe this force. So our teacher, the Rav, put it together in a way that the opponent, this force, is actually telling about himself, how he's deceiving all of humanity. So you get an inner voice of the opponent telling how he operates on us. It's very sophisticated. You need to get it, you need to study it, and then you will understand, now what I've been doing all of this time, listening to this voice, to this voice. How can I shift listening more to the voice of my soul, what my soul wants to do? All right? Very recommended book, available online, available to buy here. So the exercise that you're taking home is to face your opponent, to observe the opponent, not to feed the opponent, because the opponent is to the extent, is going to control us to the extent we surrender energy to him. Every time I'm angry, I'm giving him fuel. You understand? That's to the extent the opponent is all controlling over us, is to the extent we giving our energy for free to him by listening to his voice, by reacting, by being negative, by being passive, by being lazy, by have a lack of structure, lack of control, all of those things, endless things that happens. Yes.
Sometimes too much control is not good too. I was very young, 27, I broke my back. And I saw the chiropractor. He was very, very, he's Jewish with the tall paces, like very Orthodox Jewish. And he looks at me and tell, do you know why you broke your back? It's not because of you. It's because they have been hippie when they were young, and then they become Orthodox Jew. And he told, I understand the meaning of life. You try to control everything, but there is a God who controls everything, and you cannot control everything in your life. You just have to do the best you can and let Him to control the rest. And he gives me an example. He is going to work, and his clients are waiting for him at 9 o'clock in the morning. He knows to be there by 9 o'clock. He has to leave his home at 8:30. He leaves his home at 8:30, and then there is a traffic, there is a car accident, there is something, and he cannot be there by 9 o'clock. He told me, do you think I'm going to be stressed as you are, stressing about everything in your life? No, it's not me. I'm trying my best. Somebody created that not allowed me to come on time. Maybe I will get into accident if I hurry up or something. I'm just allowed him to take the place, and then I come whenever I come, and I tell I'm sorry.
I think it's an excellent example of
And you took
understanding
everything of yourself, and that's why you break your back. Not because you break your back, an issue.
that wanting to control external events versus wanting to control me not giving to
Not to be upset.
Yes, with that
That situation. That's yes, he
Exactly.
controlling
when
the
things
anger.
are going my way, I get upset. Why? Because I need to control. I don't understand. There are so many things, so many events in life that are going to lead me to a better place. I just need to let go and not to be reactive. Understand? That's how you stop feeding the opponent. Because as much as you give him more, as much he's going to be more in control. That's how it goes. More questions, examples online. All right. So let's put the opponent into diet. Start with the diet, then start starving him. Okay? So recap, we live in a world of parallel destinies. We can switch from one to another by becoming more proactive. The creator created an angel, this force of energy, disguises the opponent to help us to earn our fulfillment by challenging us to be our best. The opponent's main trick is to convince us that it doesn't exist. Recognizing cognition, observation, and resistance are the key to overcoming the opponent and thereby experience fulfillment. But first, we need to learn our opponent. So what I ask you this week, start recognizing how the opponent operates on you. Is it fear? Is it anger? Is it control? Is it selfishness? Is it pride? Is it negative pessimistic thoughts? Is it final thoughts? Is it, what is it? How is it? How is it repeating in ourselves? So spiritual rule number 3, overcoming the opponent within, reveal the power of my soul. Spiritual tool, learn to observe the voice of the opponent. Recognizing the voice of the opponent, it's already 60% of the job. Just telling, I see you, opponent, separating him from who I think I am, who I think the other person is. I'm just saying, no, that's the voice of the opponent. It's already 60% of the spiritual process. It's a lot. Don't worry. Later on, we learn more how to deal with this. First, learn it. Learn your opposer. Okay. Now with your mentors, you can start exercising, explaining from what you learned today, how your opponent operating over you. What does your opponent say? Lack, separation, moments of drama, anger, victim mode. And start putting together a list. It's good to put together a list because part of this opponent force is forgetfulness. It's like something about this force going to make sure that everything that we learned today going to be erased by tomorrow from your brain. I'm not joking. If not tomorrow, in 2 days. So you need to listen to this class at least once a day for the rest of your life. Yeah, we need to have constant memorandums of that understanding. Because part of this force is forgetfulness. We forgetting what's need to be done and we getting back into the old programming back again. Okay, so we need constant reminders. So start working with your mentors from now. Thank you very much, everyone.